Hello, everybody. Today I'm going to be talking about Burke's dramatism from my com theory today. Before I even get started into the key concepts on how the theory works, we got to take a deep dive on who developed it. You know what I mean? Burke's dramatism was developed by Kenneth Burke, an American philosopher. The theory was introduced around the 1940s to the 1960s. Burke believed all communication is like drama, people with motives just like characters in a play. I don't know about y'all, but when it comes to like acting or drama in a play, my favorite actor of all time is Denzel Washington. I feel like he's the greatest of all time to ever do it, to ever touch a screen. That's just my personal opinion. If you disagree, then I don't know what to tell you, to be honest.
Okay. All right.
Now, for the follow-up, let's talk about the key concepts. 5 phases of when explaining this theory, and this is called the dramatistic batad. Burke said every action can be analyzed using 5 elements, like parts of in a play. The parts consist of act, scene, agent, agency, and purpose. Now, what's the purpose of having this dramatistic batad? I'm gonna tell you. When it comes to act, you'll ask what happened. When it comes to scene, it's where and when did it happen. When it comes to agent, it's who performed the action. When it comes to agency, you want to know how did they do it and what tools and methods did they use. And when it comes to purpose, why did they do it and what was the goal of this purpose when asking a question. But how does dramatism explain communication? That's the $1,000,000 question we all want to answer, right? Take a deep dive on what the theory explains. You want to know why people justify their actions, how persuasion works in relationships and in media, and how language shapes reality. Now, we can all take a look and know what the theory explains, but we also want to know how you would use this theory in everyday life. 4 ways to do this. You can use other people's motives, which means taking advantage of the dramatistic batad, improving your own communication, which means structuring your explanations clearly. You can craft messages that focus on communication as well. Or you could use conflict resolution. When it comes to using other people's motives, you could simply think of it like this. You could think why your friend canceled plans or why a coworker reacted emotionally. It gets you thinking, it gets them gears turning. When it comes to improving your own communication or structuring your explanations more clearly, you can use the act within the patad. You could say, here's what happened. Or when you use purpose in the patad, you could say, I did it because. When it comes to scene, you could use, it was because of the situation. So basically, before you say a word, you can follow up with these responses when communicating with somebody verbally. Now, when you're crafting messages, you can use shared values or identification. You can have an attitude or purpose that make arguments stronger, or you could frame a scene to justify your decisions. Now, for you to understand where people are coming from, for example, in conflict resolution, if somebody blames the scene within the batad, they could say something like, work was crazy, very dramatically. Obviously, they want to know your response and they're looking for empathy on what you have to say within this certain situation of the conversation. If they focus on purpose, they want you to understand their intentions when communicating with somebody. Does that make sense to you guys? It makes sense to me. Overall, with all that information that I dropped in your guys' brains, Kenneth Burke's dramatism shows that life is like a play. Everyone has a role, an action, a reason, and a setting behind what they do. By breaking communication down into the act, scene, agent, agency, and purpose, Burke helps us understand people's true motives and how they use words to create meaning. In short, dramatism reminds us that communication isn't about what's said, it's about why it's said. Thank you guys so much for your undivided attention. Please enjoy this video of me dancing.